A 26-year-old man who was a serial online blackmailer has been sentenced to 32 years in prison. Abdul Elahi targeted almost 2,000 women and young girls using fake identities to build a bank of images of sexual abuse, which he then sold online in box sets to other paedophiles. Lisa Dowd is at Birmingham Crown Court for us. Hello to you, Lisa. What has happened today?
Well, Abdul Elahi has just been sentenced, and in court we heard how he had been living a unremarkable life in Birmingham, but behind his devices in his bedroom in this city of Birmingham, he was committing abuse and blackmail on an industrial scale. The investigators who looked into him described him as a sadistic paedophile with thousands of victims in 34 different countries. In fact, his own defence barrister described him as one of the worst online predators ever apprehended. And what he was doing was posing as a rich, middle-aged businessman on these so-called sugar daddy websites, and there he found young, vulnerable female victims, women and girls who were desperate and in debt. And he described to police in his own custody interview how he would groom his victims.
1 week I was posing as a doctor, the next I was a banker, following week entrepreneur, lying, coming up with fake jobs constantly. It was just mainly threatening about exposure, to be honest, and different spins on that. Pornhub, family. Before anything, figure out her financial situation. The less money she has, the more willing, the kinkier she's willing to be. So once I had that information, I'd give them my offer. If they were stupid and I could blag it, I'd mention 10 grand or 20 grand. Sometimes the girls would believe it and they said, oh, how can I make more? And then I'd just say kinkier stuff.
What began as him requesting naked images in return for money escalated to him blackmailing victims into horrifically abusing themselves, their siblings and children. And we spoke to one victim who told us what they went through.
It started off as just lingerie pictures and previous pictures of just like selfies, so like just my face, like just normal pictures really, so it didn't really start any alarm bells early on. Just eventually asked for more and more like naked photos and then more like violent and graphic pictures, so violence on like inflicting on myself, asking if I've got younger siblings, if I knew any like close people that were younger than me, obviously like for like paedophilic reasons. I think it definitely makes you think that it's your own fault when the people closest to you don't believe you.
Police found on his devices 67,000 indecent images of children, which he was selling as box sets to like-minded abusers. He made £25,000 out of doing that, and he was acting as a mentor for other abusers who became copycat abusers as well. And we had some reaction from the National Crime Agency who investigated him.
It is right up there in terms of the size and scale of this offending. Absolutely. We've had similar ones, but this 158 indictments is going to take some beating in terms of size and scale. So the sentence fits the crime. He's a very, very twisted, deviant, callous individual, and he should and was punished severely for what are very, very serious crimes. It sends out a clear message that we will pursue people like Elahi and that they will be punished very, very severely by the courts.
The judge described Elahi as a depraved and prolific offender, and she sentenced him to 32 years in prison. When he is eventually released, though, he will spend 8 years on licence, so he'll have to stick to certain conditions, and he will be placed on the sex offenders register for life. Investigators have managed to recover 100,000 images online that he posted, but there are many more out there that they will never be be able to recover, and that will concern his victims for life, because they could be exposed to further blackmailers.
A really horrific case. Lisa Dow, thank you.